In healthcare, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and we are seeing that in the new cybersecurity report released by HIMSS.
So Bindu, you were telling me about some interesting data points that came out of the HIMSS cybersecurity conference. Can you talk more about that?
Yes, so healthcare is one of those verticals that we have been seeing as one of the attractive targets for hackers, right? Because of the type of information that they have. The information that a healthcare organization has about us, it's beyond credit cards, right? It's your social security number, your insurance information. It's got a lot of sensitive assets in terms of information. I thought this survey was interesting because it spoke about 75% of the surveyed, healthcare organizations have had one major incident at least in the last year. Then the good news in this was about 45% of them said that they do risk assessments. We've been saying this for a while, right? When you want to really make security investments, take a look at the risks associated for your organization and make investments accordingly.
It's an important report. I think that's really an important area to focus cybersecurity awareness and safety in, to make sure that those are really hardened.
So interesting thing in that is we do see healthcare, most of the breaches that have happened has happened because of user error or the lack of security awareness. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I did find interesting is they do the awareness and training, but it's not enough because the effectiveness of those is still not working because most of them are still clicking on the phishing emails. Mm-hmm. Healthcare seems to be one of those industry verticals that are hit with ransomware quite a bit. Yeah. So what do we do, right? So is security training enough from taking a computer-based training? No, because we need to really think about it like a campaign approach and really take a look at, how do we constantly educate our user population, and also some amount of positive reinforcement, right? Some of the things that we've learned is introduce security as almost a marketing campaign within your organization. Security has to be part of every user within an organization.
I think most of the attacks that come in that do a lot of damage usually are arriving via email. Mm-hmm. So having a really good security awareness program, I think, is really key. Yeah. Like you said, AT&T, we do have some, and we've tried to make it entertaining, mm-hmm. very easily digestible, so that people, are kind of like, oh, this is fun, kind of understanding some of these recent types of attacks that attackers use, mm-hmm. to trick you or get access to company information.
So I think that anything you can do to make your security awareness program and training engaging and relevant and consumable by your staff is incredibly important. But also hand in hand with that are the technology solutions that are going to help enable compliance. Because even with the best of intentions of being 100% accurate and successful at following the training, attackers up their game every single day.
It's agreed, right? I think just one element is not going to help solve all of these challenges that we're having. So security awareness is key, but then you want to control it at your email level. You want to filter so that your users don't get those links, right? So we talk about layered security approach all the time.
Layered defense for sure. And but it does help to have people aware that sometimes I've run across users that they get compromised, they don't even realize they get compromised. Yeah. But with good security awareness programs, they'll like, wait a second, I think something might have happened to my computer when I clicked on this, because they've seen some of these, videos or whatnot that we put out.
Yeah, I think having that layered approach and learning from this report that they've made a positive stride in terms of doing security assessments, getting the risk assessments done as part of due diligence. They're making strides in the right direction. So I think this is a good report to read.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you're in the healthcare industry. Yeah, Mike?
I was going to say one last element to make sure the companies are thinking about is that culture of transparency, because if somebody does fail to identify the phish attack or the malicious content and they do click on it, you don't want them to be afraid to come forward.
So encourage an open environment with your users so that they don't feel nervous or concerned that they're going to be penalized or felt bad that they got tricked into clicking on an email. It happens to everybody.
So you have to keep your foundations right, have a risk-based approach, a layered defense strategy as you're evolving and innovating, whether it's moving to the cloud, whether it is transforming into digital records. Keep in mind that layered defense approach never gets old.